Arsenal Industries presents NBA Draft Lottery Recap.
With the 2015 NBA Draft now over, Karl Anthony Towns being selected by the Timberwolves number 1, as had been thought pretty much all along.
Right.
It was definitely the right pick, but where will Anthony Towns play in that lineup?
Well, I think he's going to start. You don't draft him number 1, and you don't not start him right away.
He has to start, basically.
Yeah, so it's basically what are you going to do with Big Peck.
Right.
You got Dang,
right.
You got Garnett, you got, I guess, Adrian Payne and Anthony Bennett.
Right.
Although there are rumors that they're trying to get rid of Anthony Bennett. So I would say until Pekovic is moved, they're going to start him at the 4.
Yeah.
Because I don't think at this point in Kevin Garnett's career he cares whether he starts.
I think he just wants to be a mentor to those guys, and I think he realizes his impact more as a mentor, as someone who can learn, who can teach other players.
Right.
Especially, guys like Karl Anthony Towns and last year Andrew Wiggins.
Exactly. I think he came back to the Timberwolves because he feels he needs to get back to the team that brought him into this league.
Right. And I think that having Anthony Towns at 4 and Pekovic at 5 will be much more effective than having, say, Anthony Towns at 5 and Garnett at 4 or something like that.
Or Payne or Bennett.
Right,
one of those guys.
Exactly.
All right. So moving on to the second pick of the draft. Do you think that Jordan Clarkson, last year's rookie revelation, second rounder for the Los Angeles Lakers,
steal of the draft,
and D'Angelo Russell can play together because they're similar type players?
They are similar type players, and then you have Kobe coming back, which will further complicate things a little bit in the first year.
Plus
Nick Young if they don't trade him.
How many shots can there be in Los Angeles?
I don't know. If they play defense like they played last year, there might be a lot. But
110 points a game there, giving it up.
But I think they can coexist together. I think they can play together. I think that Clarkson and that Russell should be able to get along. They should be able to find their shots. I think it will be a little difficult at first, especially, like I said, with Kobe. Kobe's going to demand the ball. I think Kobe will teach Russell. I think he'll want to be a mentor to him, like we mentioned with Kevin Garnett. But I still think Kobe's going to want his shots.
Now, who starts?
I think it'll be a fairly open competition.
Okay.
Maybe you put Kobe at small forward.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But I do think that D'Angelo is going to wind up starting if they keep Kobe at shooting guard.
And then you bring Clarkson off the bench to your 6-man. I think that's where they got to go. Number 2 picks got to start. Kobe Bryant got to start.
Definitely.
So not much choice there.
Yeah. So moving on now to the third pick with the 76ers. They now have 3 centers on their roster, all back-to-back number 1 picks. What the hell are the Sixers doing right now?
Yeah, the Sixers, man, Sam Hinkie, I tend to think he has a plan, but I mean, I can see where everyone else seems to think he's a little lost on his plan. Now, not to mention Nerlens Noel and Joel Embiid that you already mentioned to go along with this year's Jahlil Okafor, but they also have Dario Saric overseas.
Very true, yeah.
They've picked up a bunch of these like undersized athletic fours, like a Jeremy Grant. They picked up the guy from Bowling Green this year, and in the second round, and so you're kind of left wondering what they're going to do. I think Nerlens Noel can play the 4. I'm not sure if Joel Embiid's going to play again this year, based on the reports. So I think they're going to play. They're going to try out Okafor because so far he's been healthy.
Right.
He'll be the first number 1 pick of theirs to play his rookie year.
Yeah, which hopefully,
yeah. So I think they're going to try him out, and then we'll see. They'll have to unclutter this mess starting next year.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's possible that Embiid could be moved, but considering he's damaged goods now, possibly, what's the market going to be like for him?
Right, you don't want another Greg Oden on your hands.
Exactly.
Even
though he's very talented and yeah.
One of my favorite players, actually. I thought I still have high hopes for him, but I'm a little scared. 2 seasons in a row is a lot.
7-footers with foot injuries are a very dangerous mix. Very potential.
So to number 4 pick, and our local New York Knicks.
Yes.
Are they rebuilding?
Absolutely, and I think they're saying to Carmelo, sorry, Carmelo, we tried building around you, but I think it's pretty clear that they're just going to restart from scratch.
Carmelo had said he was not happy with the pick of Kristaps.
Definitely, and I think that taking Porzingis, and he's not going to be ready for at least, say, 2 years. I think that it's clear that they're making an effort to rebuild in the future because they could have taken even a Kaminsky or a Justice Winslow who had maybe lower ceilings, less potential, but they could have helped in the now much more than Porzingis, obviously.
I know this isn't the lottery, but I do really like the pick of Jerian Grant. I think he can come in right away and contribute.
Yeah. Okay, moving on from there to the number 5 pick with the Magic. They're a really good young team with a lot of talent. They now have a consistent 3-point shooter in Mario Hezonja. Do you think that everything will translate together now that they have a scorer?
The Orlando Magic, since they've traded Dwight Howard, now set themselves up where they have young players at every position.
Right.
Ideally, that's a great thing, and the ideal, I think, is going to play out for them.
On paper, it looks good.
On paper, it looks great, I would say. Now, there's a couple of concerns for them. Number one, Hezonja really is their only reliable 3-point shooter, and he's a rookie, so how reliable can he really be?
Right, that's true.
Oladipo's good. I think Fry should have a bounce-back year, but besides that, they don't have much. However, having said that, Hezonja was one of my favorite players in the draft. I had him personally as a top 3 player in this year's draft. I think that this group, under Scott Skiles' defensive tutelage, can really grow, and I think that in a couple of years, this can be a sneaky threat to win the East.
Definitely. It will take some time, but I agree with you. I think that if they don't move Vucevic like had been in possible talks with the Lakers and the Kings and the Boogie Cousins possible deal, which could still be coming, but hopefully for their sake, for the Magic's sake, they don't do it and they keep Vucevic. I think that young core that they have with Peyton and Aaron Gordon and Victor Oladipo and now Hezonja, they have so much going for them. I think they really have a chance in the future.
So speaking of Boogie Cousins, and we're going to talk a little bit about Ty Lawson.
Yes.
Both the Kings and the Nuggets pick replacement-type players. It seems to me that those two guys could be on the move.
Yeah.
Especially after Ty Lawson said, looks like I'm going to Sacramento.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going on in both those organizations?
Well, I think Ty Lawson is getting moved. And I think he'll probably, like he said, he wants to go to Sacramento now to be back with George Karl. And I think that's pretty likely. Mudiay, I really like Mudiay. I think that he's a little bit of a project. Year 1, he won't be very great, but I think he can develop.
I will disagree with you on that.
Okay.
I think my problem with Mudiay is I've seen in today's NBA point guards who can't shoot continuously kill their teams.
That's true.
John Wall is an exception. But, man, you got to be that fast to make that much of a difference. And John Wall is also a great passer. And if Mudiay can prove to me that he's both of those things, well, he won't be that fast.
Right.
Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
But if he can be a great passer and a driver, then it won't matter as much. Yeah. However, to Sacramento's pick of Willie Cauley-Stein, one of my favorite players in this draft due to his versatility on defense, and I think his offensive game will develop over time opposed to contrary beliefs. I think that he can develop a little mid-range jumper. I know that they're talking about this 3-pointer.
No.
I don't think that's really ever in his cards. But if it happens, I wouldn't be too surprised as this kid has shown great growth through his years. I mean, he was a football player up until he went to Kentucky primarily. So I think he's got great room for growth, and I think he's going to be a great NBA player for a long time.
Yeah, and I think that him and Boogie can play together. I don't think that because they took a center means necessarily they're going to trade Boogie.
Right.
Vivek, their new owner, still loves Boogie Cousins. He still obviously wants him. So, moving on from there and talking about the Heat, who might have won the draft last night by staying put at 10 and taking one of the best players in the draft, Justice Winslow.
Right, my guy Justice Winslow from Duke.
Yes.
At first, it's a little disappointing for him. He was projected to go around that number 5 slot to the Orlando, possibly even get up to number 4 to New York.
I thought he was potentially the 4th best player in the draft and one of the safer picks.
Right, so now he gets to go to Miami, where Dwayne Wade should be returning. There's potential Luol Deng there, so the 2 and the 3 is, I guess, filled.
Yeah.
But there's no depth there whatsoever.
Absolutely.
So he should be able to come in, contribute right away.
Right.
He gets to come into a team with Pat Riley at the helm. I mean,
Chris Bosh, Hassan Whiteside, Shabazz Napier. They have a lot of potential, this team.
And Josh McRoberts coming back as a playmaking force. So I think this team could be really on the rise going into next year.
I definitely agree.
Now, moving to the Oklahoma City Thunder. What do you think of Mr. Payne, Mr. Cameron Payne?
I think that he was one of the most underrated players in the lottery. I really like him a lot. I really like his playmaking ability. He has a pretty good shot. He's a very good passer, very unselfish. I think that he's another one of Sam Presti's great first-round picks. I think he'll be their sixth man. I think that Russell Westbrook, if he has injury issues again this year, I think he'll come in and he'll surprise people. And I think that if he were starting in like a regular starting team where obviously, he didn't have to compete with, Russell Westbrook.
Right.
I think he would have potential to be Rookie of the Year type.
Wow.
Produce numbers like that. I do. I really do.
I think that Cameron Payne's going to come in and play about 15 to 20 minutes a game off the bat. I think that number could grow throughout the season. I think it will grow.
Yeah.
I think he's going to play some with Westbrook, and they're going to move Westbrook to the 2.
Okay.
And allow him to work some off the ball. And it takes a lot of pressure off of Westbrook and Durant.
Yeah.
And especially with new coach Billy Donovan coming in, opposed to Sam Presti's kind of ISO basketball.
Yeah.
Donovan should be running some sets for these guys.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's part 1 of our NBA lottery recap. Stay tuned for part 2. Should be coming out shortly. If you have anything you want to suggest to us, please leave it in the comments.